got something to say. I'm just so sick of hearing everyone complain. I know it's tough and I know there's pain, but hitting bottom is the only way to change. So I'll keep hustling, you keep struggling. Bitch, I'm humbling, keep mumbling. I'll keep doubling, you keep bluffing. You've got nothing, I'll keep hustling. I've seen a lot of people who don't know what work is. I've seen a lot of people who don't know what thirst is. I've had a taste of evil and tried to cure the sickness, but I just keep my head down and focus on the facts. I'm setting down gravel while you just follow the path. I'll lead them into battle while you're just too scared to act. I'll leave the knife right in my back. So I'll keep hustling, you keep struggling. Bitch, I'm humbling, keep mumbling. I'll keep doubling.
So what are you waiting for? Subscribe. I'll see you on the other side. Hey, welcome to Getting Verbal in the Den. I am your host, BC, the Purple Diva. Okay, guys, I'm ready for late night. I know, it's hard. It's hard on nights like tonight because I'm doing a double on y'all. All right, now I am changing channels. All right. I'm trying to bring myself in. All right, cool. All right. Had to make sure I was in there. Hey, Angel. Had to make sure I was in here under the right channel. You know, I had to go and I had to share it on my community board on my other channel. So my goal right now is to get the Purple Diva Den to 100. When I get it to 100, then I'll be able to personalize my channel. So it'll be easier for people to find us in the algorithm. But we are doing really good at this point because we started this channel in March and we have 57 subscribers now. And I think that is great for a brand new channel. In the way that things work in the algorithms nowadays. And I shout out to everyone who has been, joining the channel and grabbing on. Now, what I wanted to do first tonight was to go in here and turn this music down. Low. It's down, it's low. Okay. Is it playing? Did I stop it? I think I stopped it. Okay, yeah, it's still playing. It's just down low. Hey, Miss Pamela. So I'm gonna start it out and I told you guys that I was going to go ahead and I was going to play Ode to a Bad Boy for you guys. So let me, so you guys can hear the audio. Because I haven't actually played it myself on this channel, of course. I have looked at it on my main channels. Okay, so let me make sure I got my sound up on here. All right, I'm gonna play it for you guys. So I'm gonna turn it up so you guys can hear it. Ode to a Bad Boy. I was mesmerized from the first time I heard your silky voice. Hearing one more song was never too much for me. You see, your love and passion for music was so amazing that it knocked me off my feet because it is just that sweet. Hopefully you guys can hear it. I was going out of my head looking for any love, not realizing that I needed to wait for love. Because the power of love is worth it, if only for one night. I now know that there's nothing better than love. Because the night I fell in love, I realized for you to love, you have to stop to love. But I kept looking for anyone who had a heart and who would love the one you're with. While I was creeping, soon I began to realize that a house is not a home. I, who have nothing, still I searched for that endless love to be here and now. But since I lost my baby, I never seem to feel like I want the night to stay. I don't want to be a fool. And if this world were mine, it would give me the reason to love. I know me now, you will wonder if I was the one. So, let's make tonight the night. And just ignore people who want to be a busybody. Because they said you needed me. So let me take you out one last time. But how many times can we say goodbye? Because in my heart, you will always be my superstar. And because of you, I will always, always remember to dance with my father. Always and forever. That was it, y'all. The only thing you were missing was the visuals of Mr. Beautiful, Wonderful, Silky Voice, Vandross. All right. I got that in. Let me do this. Let me bring the music back in the background. There, music back. Music is back. So that is a poem that I wrote in tribute to Luther Vandross on the day of his death. He died in 2005 at the age of 54 from a heart attack. And his birthday was 4/20. So I thought it was apropos that I released that spoken word for you guys. And that was that was, you know, written as a poem. Like, Jesus, it's over 15 years ago. Over 15 years ago, I wrote that. And it was fun. It was fun getting all of the different songs in there. Did you guys catch all the different songs that are in that? Did y'all catch all of them? You know, I that was actually it was a challenge that I gave to myself when I wrote that poem, because, you know, I was really a Luther Vandross fan, and still am. Still love his music, you know, still can play it. I'm actually looking for the poem right now. I'm actually looking for it right now. And then we'll get into the other stuff that we're going to talk about, which is expectations in relationships. So I know y'all hear pages turning. Yeah, because I, you know, I'm an old school poet. I write my stuff down. Yeah, Ode to a Bad Boy. So I'll just tell you that the first that when I first put this together, the way that I anticipate the, when I like perform this spoken word is to have like a band behind me and for a bass guitar player to play the bass chord from Never Too Much. And Never Too Much was written by Luther Vandross and his writing partner, Marcus Miller, who is a bass guitarist, bad bass guitarist. Nonetheless, when I wrote that poem, that was the music that I heard, was that bass chord. Dun, 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 dun. That's what I heard it in my head. I know that's crazy, but yeah, because when I'm writing songs, sometimes when I'm writing poems, I hear a certain type of music, in my head. Unfortunately, I'm not always able to find that, in the songs that are within the library on YouTube, but I make them work. But yeah, there's over like 30 songs in here. Let me see. The first one is obviously Never Too Much. So Amazing. Knock Me Off My Feet. Going Out of My Head. Looking for Any Love. Wait for Love. I'm telling y'all, I'm actually going through the songs that are in this. Wait for Love. The Power of Love. If Only for One Night, which was written by Brenda Russell. And Luther made it a bigger hit than she did, because that song came out when I was in high school. Moving on. The next song is There's Nothing Better Than Love. That's the song that he did with Gregory Hines, who also had a beautiful voice. The Night I Fell in Love. For You to Love. Stop to Love. Anyone Who Had a Heart. Love the One You're With. Creepin'. A House Is Not a Home. I Who Have Nothing, which Tom Jones also sang. That's an old song. Endless Love, which we all know Lionel Richie and Diana Ross originally sang. Then Mariah Carey sang it with somebody, Mariah Carey sang it with somebody else. Here and Now. Since I Lost My Baby. I Want the Night to Stay. Don't Want to Be a Fool. If This World Was Mine. That's the song he did with Cheryl Lynn. Was it Cheryl Lynn? No, did he do it with Cheryl Lynn? Yeah, I think he did it with Cheryl Lynn. Y'all remember Cheryl Lynn from The Gong Show? Give Me the Reason. Love is the Only Way. The Closer I Get to You. I'm not done, y'all. Too Proud to Beg. Nobody to Love. Heaven Knows. Little Miracles. Love Me Again. Love Won't Let Me Wait. This Time I'm Right. Bring Your Heart to Mine. Hearts Get Broken All the Time. any day now, if I was the one, let's make tonight the night. Also a song that he redid. Busybody. They Said You Needed Me. Take Me Out. How Many Times Can We Say Goodbye? 'Cause My Heart. Oh no, that's not. How Many Times Can We Say Goodbye? Superstar. Dance with My Father. Always and Forever. Which was also a remake. He covered a bunch of songs. A lot of the songs that Luther made into hits were covers. He covered songs that other people had done before him. You never heard Busybody. Busybody was on the first album. The album, it was the title track from the album, Busybody. It was really a song called Busybody. It was on the album Busybody. Yep. It's on that album. It sure is. I'm not like I said, there are a lot of songs, and I did almost everything that Luther sang became a, like standards, his songs. I mean, Tom Jones did I Who Have Nothing. Tom Jones's I Who Have Nothing, I think, is probably the best rendition of it, taking nothing from Luther. I just, Tom Jones just is a white man who has a soulful voice. We must all admit that. So now let's talk a little bit about expectations in relationships. And the reason I wanted to talk about that is because I don't know about you guys, but I saw a lot of people's relationships blow up during the last 2 years, during lockdown, during close quarters. And I often wonder, what are our expectations in relationships? So let's talk about, I'm going to talk about friendship first, because I think that one's probably a little easier to, but in friendship, one of the things that I have found is that you have to have different types of boundaries with friends at different times in your life. And I say that from the standpoint of when you're young and you're single, and most of your friends are young and single and don't have kids, you might have, less restrictions on, hanging out or people just popping up at your house. I'm one who never liked anybody popping up in my house. That was always one of my boundaries. Don't just show up at my house. But you know what I'm saying. You might be a little, less restrictive, with a lot of things. But as we get older and we get into long-term relationships or marriages, we tend to have, we tend to change boundaries and change the rules as far as the expectations within our friendships. Because when you're single, you tend to expect your friends to have a lot of time for you when you're single. And when you're not single, you don't have as much time for your friends. And one of the things that I have seen is throughout the last couple of years, with people being in isolation, is that a lot of us have probably had people that were our friends before, but now they're not our friends. Not because of any falling out, but simply because they no longer meet like the expectations you have for friends. You know what I mean? Does that make sense to you guys? You know, like when I'm not in a relationship now, when I was younger, like when I'm not in a relationship, even in this older time. Yeah, you know, I'd hang out, be out karaokeing, be out skating and doing all of that kind of stuff. Kind of like a little social butterfly. But now, you know, I kind of have friends in different places, and I have different boundaries with different types of friends, you know. So, like, okay, my church friends. Okay, well, my church friends are people that I know from church. Now, the church that I go to, I've been there for over 30 years. So, but at one point, you know, we had a lot of outside of church socialization, you know, hanging out at different people's houses and everything. And that was when we were like a much smaller church. And now I don't do so much of that with, you know, with that particular group of friends. And it's like, you know, like if I had like a certain type of, if I had like a get together at my house, like a barbecue or something, I don't know if I would invite my church friends, because we don't have a whole lot of interaction socially anymore. You know, the boundaries of our friendships, you know, and our expectations of our friendship. And it's really weird because you would think, you know, that relationships at church would be close all the time. And sometimes there are people that I was really, really close to at one point, and I'm not as close to them now. And it's, I don't know. I really think that the last couple of years affected not only our expectations of friends, but also the types of friendships that we have. And I have a lot more associates now than I do close friends. Let me see what you guys are saying. You know, I mean, but it's very interesting because when you're in different ages, when you are at different seasons in your life, your expectations for friends are different. Your expectations for friendships are different. Because like my best friends, because I've got several, my best girlfriends all live on the East Coast. I grew up with them. I don't talk to them all the time. You know, before the pandemic, we would talk like a couple times. One of them I talked to like a couple times a month. Now we only talk to each other maybe every other month. You know, all her kids are grown, my kid is grown and everything. But when we talk to each other, because of the depth of friendship that we had growing up and the length of friendship that we've had, you know, I was at her wedding, she was in my wedding, you know, even though I was on the West Coast and she was on the East Coast, you know, our kids know each other and all of that kind of stuff. We can just fall back into talking. Same thing with one of my other girlfriends who went to high school and college with me. You know, because to me, those friends know a different me than friends that I made at different times in my life. And then I would say, like, my friends from college, most of who are still alive, thank God for that. Although we did lose a few people during the pandemic. But the majority of the people that I went to college with, I still have, you know, relatively close friendships with my sorority sisters. And we get together and hang out, you know, every once in a while. The last time we hung out was, you know, right as things were opening back up. And then we have plans of, you know, hanging out next month. You know, so those friendships, you know, but again, you know, the boundaries on those friendships are different than the boundaries on my friendships with the people I grew up with. And my expectations are different, you know, because like my friends that I grew up with, it's like, I know that they would move heaven and earth. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that it would not necessarily be the same, because I'm sure we all have people from our adult life that, you know, that's part of the, you know, expectations within the friendship, but it's not always, you know, that way. Now, obviously, when we talk about relational expectations, now we're talking about something completely different. So now I'm going to talk about like some of the things. I'm going to talk about like my experience and having easy relationships versus hard relationships, because I've had both, and how my expectations have varied. Like when I was married to my son's dad, I had certain expectations in the marriage, in the marital relationship. And I thought that I had communicated my expectations well, but I did not, obviously, or my ex-husband did not understand them. And I believe that he had different expectations in the relationship. So, for example, I, in that marriage, went in thinking partnership, we gonna build together, 50-50, even though nothing is ever 50-50 in, love relationships. But nonetheless, that was my expectation. His expectation was not the same as mine. He expected me to be able to do all of the things, or for me to do all of the traditional wife things, on top of the fact that I worked a full-time job. That I was going to be killing myself to get home from work every night, cook dinner, that I was going to do all the house cleaning and all the washing and, that kind of stuff. Now, I don't mind washing the dishes. Let me just say that part. And I don't mind doing the majority of the cooking. But in that relationship, that's not how we came into it. You know what I'm saying? That's not how we came into it. That's not how we came into it. Now, in my current relationship, different, because I'm in a different season and I have different expectations, and older, wiser, older, wiser, older, wiser, older, wiser. Older, wiser, older, wiser. That's all I'm going to say. And, it's different because, like, in this situation, okay, yeah, I'm the one who does the cooking, we all help with the cleaning. No maids up in here, except for my son thinks he has a maid because somehow I'm the one who always cleans his room. But that's not part of my relationship. But, generally I'm doing the cooking. But, sometimes I don't cook, and he'll either buy us something or he'll buy us something. No, I'm kidding. He'll buy us something. He occasionally will cook, but that's not his strong suit. And although, I ain't trying to be stuck in the kitchen, I cook. I'm a very, very good cook. So that's not a problem. But, it's like certain things, we were more clear. I walked into this more clear with those types of expectations. But that's not the only expectations, those are surface expectations. Then also, during different periods of your life in relationships, you also have, expectations of an intimate nature as well. And I will say, when I was younger, I had very high expectations. Very high expectations. They were not met. And I believe that was just because some people are sensitive and will listen and will take guidance, and some people won't. You know, and at the age that I'm at, now, it's different than when you're younger. When you're younger, you don't necessarily say everything. You're not, you think you're being vocal, but you're really not being vocal. And this is for men or women when it comes to intimacy. I mean, because if there's not a change in behavior, then either A, they don't understand you, or B, they're just an insensitive asshole. But in most cases, maybe we're not communicating it well. So at the age that I'm at now, we're very communicative. I'm kind of blunt with it, with what I like, what I don't like, what I expect, and what I have a problem with not getting. And I believe that we all, male or female, I do not even believe him. My son is something else, y'all. Going back to my conversation. I believe as we all get older, that we all learn how to communicate, either verbally or other ways, what we want. But I have found at this age that it's just easy to just say it verbally. Don't give no hints. Have them guessing. Just be straight up, forthright, and tell it like it is. 'Cause I sure will. He is in the shower right now, you guys, and it's 11:30 at night. Now, that's why you heard me say he's something else, because he was supposed to take a shower 3 hours ago. But he knows if he don't take that damn shower tonight, yeah, that hurt. It's about a harmonious atmosphere in the house. So yeah, but now I have no problems saying exactly what I want when I want it, because closed mouth doesn't get fed. That's what experience has taught me. When it comes to intimacy. Now, when I talk about expectations with intimacy, I'm talking about how it's done, how long it's done, and how often. And yeah, when I was younger, it wasn't to my liking sometimes. And generally, if you don't like how it's coming, then you don't want it. At least that's how I was. But anybody can learn. It's just that I'm now at the age where I'm not teaching nobody anymore. So yeah, they better know more than me, or at least as much as I do. But again, my guy, we ain't got no complaints on that. I done told y'all. That senior citizens, they still, have intimate relations. We still have sex drives. And contrary to all these crazy things that you hear younger women and men out there saying, about older women, we still get very lubricated. Yeah. But of course, I'm only going to be wet down there for someone I'm attracted to. Generally, when women aren't wet down there, it's because they aren't attracted to the person. Not a drunk woman. And also, I hate to say this, that we generally won't be wet for struggle love. I don't do struggle loves now. Now, when I was young, yeah, I did a little struggle love. But when you get older, you don't want to have to. People always say that you have to work for love. That anything worth having, you have to work at it. Yes, you do have to work at love and at relationships. But if you have to work really, really, really hard at it, and there's not an ease, then it might not be a good match. Like, I'll use my current relationship because that's the only one I want to talk about. We don't fight. Have we had disagreements? Of course we've had disagreements. But, I'm one of those ones that I'm not fighting. I'm not getting an argument with you if, I'd rather walk away. I don't want to argue. I don't like getting in arguments. Probably because of past situations with arguments and, DV in a marriage. So yeah, that part. But we got through 2020 and we didn't pull each other's hair out. Got a little claustrophobic. Sometimes I think for all of us because, I was used to being in the house all day long by myself and everybody else was gone. It was just me at home. And, for several years, everybody was home. And in about another month, my son will be out of the house again. But, it was like when I was working, everybody trying to kind of be away from me, and, we we would sit and watch movies and, we talk, you know, do normal stuff. And, I would say that the lockdown probably tested a lot of relationships, and people who genuinely get along with each other, made it. And other people didn't, for various reasons. I mean, my sister had been married for like a long time. She was married for like almost 15 years. Yeah. She didn't make it. They didn't make it. And, with my relationship with my guy, we had just gotten like, to the serious point, we're gonna do this. And then we got locked down, and he had to stay with me because he was here when the lockdown happened. And, he couldn't. It was just that. It was a whole crazy situation. It was really crazy, and thankfully we got through it. But he was calm. I'm the amped up one. I was the amped up one the whole, throughout the lockdown. I'm the one who it made stir crazy. I'm the one who probably, would get out of the house and just drive, just so I could, get my head together, because I knew it wasn't, I knew it was not other people, it was me. You know what I'm saying? I knew it wasn't him. I knew it was just, everybody was in the house, and nobody was doing anything to bug me. That's just it. It's like, he didn't do anything. He wasn't doing anything to piss me off. He wasn't saying anything to piss me off. It was just, it was a lot of togetherness for everyone. It was a lot of togetherness. And even when you love the person, it was a lot of togetherness during a very stressful time because of, everything that was going on in the world. Yeah, but I mean, we didn't, it's like, we weren't tearing each other's heads off. And it could be because I'm older and I'm more mature now. If I was in my 20s, it would have probably been a whole different situation, But because I'm more mature, I'm like, you tripping, girl. He can't do nothing about, the fact, you know what I'm saying? It's like he can't do anything about that, or it's, because there was a point during the entire situation where I was the only one working because I worked from home, and it took a minute before he was back working, even though he worked through most of, he was back working before a lot of other people were working. But still, it was just, you don't realize, I don't think you realize if you really can go the distance with somebody. I think that 2 years, it really kind of tested a lot of relationships as to whether they would want to go the distance. Now, are we in a perfect relationship? No. But are we in a good relationship where we actually genuinely care and respect each other? And more importantly, does he make me feel secure? Yes. Yeah. So we good. We're good. And, you know, once you get to a certain age, when it comes to love relationships, you just want to be with someone who you get along with, who respects you, and who makes you laugh. He makes me laugh, you know? I mean, you know, we'll just be having a conversation and he'll say something and we'll both be just dying laughing. It's just that kind of stuff, you know, silly stuff. Things that are important when you're young and when you're older, and it's about companionship versus having kids. Yeah, so I think, yeah, the expectations are different as you get older. You know, but y'all know that I think that if my guy did not have to lock down with us, that I would have lost my mind with my son, because my son was losing his mind. He was losing his mind. But the one good thing that came out of everything is that in regards to my mother-son relationship with my son, is that we have not had to deal with a lot of the dark side of autism in that relationship. Now I'm just trying to get my son to start to get his social skills together so that he can, you know, really get out there and, you know, make a couple of friends, you know, because, you know, he has a couple of normal girls, you know, as they say, normal, as it is, you know, with neurotypical, that's what they say now, yeah, neurotypical young ladies who like him, and they have his phone number and they call him and he talks to them, even if it's just a 5-minute conversation. Yeah, one of those little girls worked at one of the places that he used to be at, and they wanted him to come back. He ain't gone back there. Not because of her, it's just I don't like the program for him, and he doesn't like the program for him because he wants to get a job. So, but you know, I'm just rambling at this point. I think I got through what I wanted to get through in regards to, you know, the friendship, relationship expectations, and how our expectations are different for different types of friends, and then really how expectations in relationships are different at different times, you know, at different seasons of our life. But y'all, I will be posting another poem, another spoken word tomorrow. Last week, the spoken word that I'm going to put up tomorrow, I actually shared it live in last week's live stream. And it's called Stolen Moments. And I will be putting it up tomorrow. I'm still editing it, just like I'm editing videos for the other one, you know, so Just so everyone knows, DC is her own editor, her own producer. You know, I am the script girl. I am the lighting person. I am the videographer. I am the director and the assistant director and the casting agent for all of my vlogs and spoken word productions. It is a one-woman show for these two channels. But I'm going to be doing more uploads of more of my poetry, because y'all, my poetry is the shit. Okay? Let me just be cocky about it. My poetry is fire. You know, and it's fire today, and the majority of these poems that I am publishing were written at least 10 years ago. But a couple of the poems that have been put on here are new, and I have some more that are new that are going to be integrated in there. But y'all, yeah, y'all gonna be getting some, because some of the stuff that you guys are going to be seeing performed on this channel are going to be in the book that I am writing of, you know, my poetry. But you guys get the, you know, the feel of what I'm feeling when I write it. And that's the whole point of doing it in spoken word. Even though poetry has been spoken word, you know, since it started out, you know, poets would always recite their poetry. You know, it's always been a spoken word art. It's just now it's being, you know, more pushed. It's cooler to be a poet now. It wasn't cool to be a poet when I was a teenager, trust me. But it's cool to be a poet now. And I got a load of work that I'm going to get out to you guys. So I am going to give y'all my outro, which is, you know, the intro for this. I'm going to get an outro for this. I just don't have it yet. So until I get to the outro, y'all will just have one intro and outro that's the same. But I'll see you guys on next week. I think I will do it on Saturday next week. I think it will be on Saturday next week. The reason I didn't do it on Saturday this week was because I'm actually going out tomorrow. I might do some filming like that too. But I think I'm going to do it on Saturday next week. Yeah. So that I won't be doing back to back on you guys. And that's so that when I come into this show, I don't mind being mellow, but I want to be able to give 100% to this, and I don't want there to be that quick transition between the two shows, especially when the subject matter on this is so different from what I'm talking about. Yeah. So you guys, I'm out. Here's the outro. I will see you guys next week, and I'll see you guys in these YouTube streets. Please share out my channel. Please share out my poetry, spoken word. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see y'all next week. I'm out.
Hey, I got something to say. I'm just so sick of hearing everyone complain. I know it's tough and I know there's pain, but hitting bottom is the only way to change. So I'll keep hustling, you keep struggling. Bitch, I'm humbling, keep mumbling. I'll keep doubling, you keep bluffing. You've got nothing, I'll keep hustling. I've seen a lot of people who don't know what work is. I've seen a lot of people who don't know what thirst is. I've had a taste of evil and tried to cure the sickness, but I just keep my head down and focus on the facts. I'm setting down gravel while you just follow the path. I'll lead them into battle while you're just too scared to act. I'll leave the knife right in my back. So I'll keep hustling, you keep struggling. Bitch, I'm humbling, keep mumbling. I'll keep doubling.
So what are you waiting for? Subscribe. I'll see you on the other side.